Gusto mo bang pumayat? Gusto mo bang magbawas ng timbang? Gusto mo bang mawala yung laki ng tiyan? Gusto mo ba na yung iyong waistline is from 40, 35, magiging 30, 29, 28, or 24 na lamang? Then, I know, marami kayong naririnig na nagsasabi na exercise lang yung kailangan. Pero tama po yung nabasa ninyo. Kung gusto mong pumayat, kung gusto mong magbawas ng simbang, then pwede muna walang exercise. Yes, yung exercise ay maganda po sa ating health, maganda sa ating pangangatawan, pero it may not be the best when it comes to weight loss. This is the reason why sobrang dami yung nagpe-fail when it comes to exercise for weight loss alone. Dahil yung totoong pangangatawan natin, how we shape our bodies, how our body is composed of, is largely related to our food intake and a little less on our activity. Of course, yung physical activity, malaking factor yon. But mas malaki yung epekto ng ating pagkain. And that's why, kung gusto nyong pumayat, try to not focus first on exercise. Unahin muna, tingnan kung ano yung kinakain natin. Because most often, yung sikreto pala when it comes to weight loss is not just on physical activity, but first on your food intake. And of course, sa ating food intake, hindi rin po dapat na bawasan lamang. It's not enough na sabihin natin, kontian mo lang yung kain mo at papayat ka na. Short term, that is effective, but long term, eto yung rason kung bakit maraming tao yung nag-yo-yo diet. Nung una, pumapayat, but later on, bumabalik na naman. Yun yung sabi nilang, one step forward, two step backwards. Ibig sabihin, pumayat ka ng 1 kilo. After niyan, bumalik ka, nag-bounce back, you regain the remaining 2 kilograms. And that is because you are not doing it the right way. I hope you already have been in our community for quite some time dahil hindi lang tayo nagbibigay ng nutrition and health advice and diet advice. But most importantly, kailangan yung mindset muna, yung ating pag-iisip. It's good that we know how to lose the weight, but more importantly, kailangan i-understand niyo yung science behind weight loss. And the key in weight loss, especially the healthy weight loss, is on fat loss. Ayaw nating pumayat kayo, pero yung nawawala sa inyo is yung muscles ninyo, yung mga essential parts ng inyong katawan. If you want to lose weight, it better be fat loss because fats, especially yung visceral fats, yung nasa loob ng ating tiyan, yun yung pinaka-importanting dapat mawala dahil yun yung associated with cardiovascular risk, yung nagkakaroon ng stroke, nagkakaroon ng heart attack, kahit may mga taong payat, pero if yung kanilang visceral fat, yung medyo malaki yung tiyan, then sila yung actually mas at risk of developing cardiovascular events. And paano yan? Paano maging mababa yung timbang? Paano natin pwedeng matunaw yung ating visceral fats? You have to understand first that among food intake, among food groups, kailangan isipin natin kung saan sa kanila ang nakakapag-spike ng insulin. Bakit naman natin iisipin si insulin? Dahil si insulin po, its other name is a fat-storing hormone. Ito ay nakakapag-store or nakakapag-accumulate ng taba sa ating katawan. Hindi lang siya basta-basta lang nagpapalower ng blood sugar. Kasi yung pag-lower niya ng blood sugar, first step lang yon. Pinapababa niya yung blood sugar sa katawan ng isang tao. But after that, anong gagawin ng mga cells natin sa sugar na yon? If you are not utilizing it, then it can be converted into fats. Then, for some people, exercise may be effective on that sense, pero hindi lahat. Marami pa rin yung hindi effective yung exercise sa pagkakaroon ng tamang weight loss because yung ating katawan, if you are always bombarded with insulin, then yung katawan mo is always on fat storing mode. So, nag-exercise ka nga, pero Yung after mo mag-exercise, ano yung kinakain mo? Tinapay, kanin, sobrang daming banana kasi nga nag-exercise ka, kailangan mo ng potassium. Pero hindi mo alam na yung saging pala, aside from potassium, mas marami yung kanyang laman na fructose and glucose. Yung pandesal na pinapares mo sa iyong kape, in addition sa kape mong 3-in-1, it is actually spiking up your insulin. So that's why after exercise, mas gutom na gutom ka, mas naghahanap ka ng pagkain because your body is always hungry, always starving. Pumapasok yung glucose sa iyong katawan pero yung insulin mo nandyan pa rin. So for the longest time na nandyan ang yung insulin which can last for up to 18 hours from your last meal intake na mataas sa carbohydrates. The whole 18 hours na yon, maghahanap ka ng pagkain, ng sugar para masustain yung iyong gutom. And whenever you eat that sugar, then hindi naman pwede nag-exercise ka 24 hours, di ba? So during those time na wala ka ng physical activity, and then yung work mo mostly mental work na lang o di kaya nagre-rest ka na. So all of those extra food that you keep on eating kasi nga yung gutom mo hindi mawala-wala, then that can accumulate still as fats. And even if kaya mong i-sustain yung gutom, say for example, nakadevelop ka ng self-discipline, magsisay no ka talaga sa food, it can only be so much. Dahil yung willpower po natin, nauubos yan. Pagkatapos ng 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, most likely, magbabounce back ka, babalik ka, because you've deprived yourself. Because for those times, you were actually lowering your blood sugar, but all of your body is still craving for so much sugar. Kasi yun lang yung alam niyang energy, yun lang yung alam niyang fuel. So ano yung magagawa natin dito? Actually, pwede nating i-train yung ating katawan up to 75 and or even more. Sa ating pangangatawan, pwedeng-pwede pa lang mabuhay, pwede-pwede pa lang mag-function, pwedeng-pwede pa lang maging optimum yung kanyang pag-work even without sugar. Because yung katawan natin, kaya niyang mag-fuel using other sources. Lumaki tayo na akala natin yung source of energy natin is asukal lamang. Pero ngayon, we understand na our body can actually thrive on other fuel sources, and that is fatty acids and ketones. Majority ketones can be utilized as energy ng karamihan ng cells sa ating katawan. Kakaunti lang yung mga cells natin nangangailangan ng glucose. And so, yung pangangailangan ng glucose na yon, masusupplyan niyan easily if you are doing low carb from your 20 to 50 grams of carbohydrate allowance for the day, or if you choose to do zero carb, masusupplyan niyan ng amino acids na nanggagaling sa protina na ating kinakain because meron tayong kakayahan na gumawa ng ating sariling glucose sa katawan, sa ating liver through the process of gluconeogenesis. In fact, pati yung kidneys nga natin, meron din ganong kakayahan in long term na kayang-kaya natin gumawa ng ketones also in addition to glucose kapag tayo ay nangangailangan na nito. So, it might take some time for your body to adapt. Pwedeng hindi dapat biglain na when you do want to exercise, kung gusto mo talaga for health reasons and you understand now na it's not just for weight loss, try to wait. Maghintay lang muna na maging fat adapted ka. Ano yung fat adapted? Because fatty acids and ketones are actually coming from fats. So, kapag sinasabi nating fat adapted ka na, yung katawan mo, medyo nasasanay na siya, kilala na niya si fats at saka si ketones na pwede na niya itong gamitin as energy. Kasi kung bibiglain mo yung sarili, you will actually tend to have a lot of ketones in your body. Like say for example, na-inspire kang mag-low carb, meron kang nakita, tapos eto yung ginagawa nila, nagsusupplement sila ng MCT oil, kumakain sila ng high fat, sobrang dami ng taba ng kanilang kinakain, tapos nag-exercise pa sila. So, your body will actually have a lot of ketones. Tapos, nag-exercise ka, mas grabe yung heat production, However, yung muscles mo, hindi pa niya kilala si ketones. So that's why, during that time, magkakaroon ka ng mga side effects na usually nakikita sa nagsisimulang mag-low carb the wrong way. This is because yung katawan mo nagge-generate na ng maraming ketones, but it is still not accepting it. Nagge-generate lang siya, gumagawa lang siya, pero hindi pa niya ito tinatanggap. Kaya dapat, slowly but surely. So what we usually advice is, give it time. Give at least 2 weeks na mag-low carb ka lang muna. Hindi kailangan sobrang taas ng fat intake. Kahit low carb lang, moderate fats, moderate proteins, and alisin lang yung mga very bad and high carbs. Magsimula kayo sa soft drinks, and then sa mga processed foods, and then sa mga sweets. And then, you can also start removing your bread and banana and your rice. And then slowly, you will see na after 2 weeks, yung gana mo sa pagkain, hindi na ganon kagrabe. Your cravings will subside because during that time, unti-unti nang bumababa si insulin sa inyong katawan, and the moment na mababa na si insulin sa katawan, your body will now initiate its natural process. Ano yung natural process ng katawan natin? It's actually fatty acid oxidation, yung pagbe-burn ng fats. Yun talaga yung ating steady state if there's no insulin spike. So that's why kailangan pababaan natin yung insulin natin. Kaya nga lang, yung ating pagkain ngayon, the way we eat, yung schedule natin, yung kinalakihan natin, is always related to rice 3 times a day. And that is spiking your insulin 3 times a day at minimum. So yung 18 hours na insulin effect sa katawan mo, hindi na actually siya bumabagsak. So yung insulin mo parati lang nandyan. So that's why hindi ka pumapayat, hindi bumabagsak yung timbang mo. So I understand na marami sa inyo ngayon, to all of our 2,846 live viewers sa nakasubaybay na sa atin. Marami sa inyo yung nag-weight loss na, di ba? At yun na nga yung inyong problema ngayon, kung paano mag-gain ng weight. Para sa mga gusto pang pumayat, para siyang dream come true na sabihin mong, paano ako mag-gain ng weight? Because for the longest time, para sa mga taong gustong pumayat, is medyo mahirap ito. But try to get inspirations, learn more. Marami tayong videos in our YouTube channel where you can watch 24 hours a day kasi marami na yan. You can learn and you can see the benefits. Para sa mga pumayat na without exercise, please comment ng inyong experience, ng inyong story para ma-inspire naman yung iba. Others can lose as much as 10 kilos in a month. Nakakatakot, di ba? Kung iisipin. Pero totoo, water loss lang naman yun, yung karamihan doon. And the real fat loss is just about 1 pound of, half pound to 1 pound of body fats per week. So, hindi naman yun ganun kagrabe. It's just that kapag nagsisimula ka pa lang, coming from a high-carb diet, yung unang mawawala talaga is the water. It's the water that you don't need. It's the water that you've been carrying. Water retention yun. Effect yun ng sobrang insulin sa katawan. And that is why also, pagkatapos mawala ng extra water na yun, yung blood pressure bumabagsak to normal, and nagiging dangerous lang itong low normal na nagkakaroon ng panghihilo, halos himatayin, yung BP na sobrang bagsak kasi may iniinom na gamot. So that's why, kung meron na kayong iniinom na gamot, try to be safe. Do it the guided way. Yung ating mga learning sessions here are for general knowledge, para especially sa mga wala pang dinaramdam. But kung meron na kayong dinaramdam, better consult your physician, or you can also consult yung mga low-carb doctors natin sa ating communities. And currently, hindi ako kasama sa low-carb doctors na yan because I'm still doing so much ngayon. But I trust na yung mga doctors natin in our community, sila Doc Brian Castillo, Doc Lisel Ganancial, we have Doc Fee Atencio, Doc Mike Atencio, we have Doc Kim Saskia Espirito, my good friend, at marami pang iba. Dumadami na po yung mga doctors ngayon in our community that you can consult if you have health concerns. And for guidance naman, meron tayong online course. Para siyang online class. Para siyang tulad ng sa mga student ngayon. But this time, hindi ito live. Yung maganda dito is already pre-recorded. So yung videos, 20 minutes lang per day for as little as 14 days for health optimization and 21 days or 20 minutes video para sa mga disease specific, diabetes, high blood. Meron ding specific protocol for weight loss kung gusto nyong merong gabay yung inyong pag-weight loss, pagbaba ng inyong mga enzymes like liver enzymes for those with fatty liver, sa may mga GERD, sa merong mga problems with fertility, sa mga babaeng may PCOS, because all of those things, including cancers and tumors na recently concluded lang, are actually related to too much insulin, too much anabolism sa ating pangangatawan, which can be corrected up to 80% of the time ng tamang nutrisyon lamang. And tamang nutrition has something to do with knowing what to eat, kung ano yung dapat kainin, at kailan ka dapat kumain. The first 2 weeks, if you want to lose weight, you don't need to fast. Walang kailangang pag-aayuno. Hindi mo kailangang makaramdam ng gutom. You can eat as much as you want, but after 2 weeks of doing low carb, basta proper low carb lang, yung pagkain na nasa ating safe list. The safe list is, I think, you can check the hashtag na JGC Rojo Food List. Merong safe list dyan. Stick to the safe list for at least 2 weeks. And then, after that, makikita mo na yung cravings mo ay mawawala. And you can also now start to fast naturally. Actually, yung 2 weeks nga, matagal na yan eh. For others, as little as 3 days, yung whole day na kain nila, kayang-kaya na nilang mag-circadian fasting. That is 12 hours from last food intake. In as little as 1 week, yung iba nag-18 hours of fasting na. But wag rin kayong ma-pressure. Huwag kayong makipagkompetensya sa iba. Know yourself and also know your own and own your own journey. Kasi yun lang yung only time talaga na para malaman natin how we are going to really be successful sa ating health gain. So don't ever exercise just for weight loss. I myself before have lost my biggest loss before when it comes to weight is almost 15 kilos. Ipapakita ko sa inyo yung itsura ko noong 2019 when I was starting. I think medyo it was quite defensive kasi OA na OA lang. Ito ako noon, 2018. Although hindi naman ako ganun kataba my whole life. Nagfa-fluctuate lang ako over time. But the middle one, yun yung mga pinakapayat ko. I went from mga 65 plus kilos going to 50, 51. So that's about 15 kilos na weight loss no, or 14 kilos yan. Pero sobrang payat na hindi na talaga masaya yung yung ibang friends and yung mga mentors ko in the hospital. Hindi na sila masaya para na daw ako may sakit. Yun yung mga sinabi nila sa akin. I look sickly and although I feel good during that time na okay lang, pero my muscle mass is very, very low. Very low talaga. Kung pwede palang critically low. So I'm not at optimum health because my muscle mass is low. And now, yung pagkakaiba noon na naglo-low carb ako, now I try to consciously improve my protein intake. So nagsisimula na ako mag-exercise. So with this photo, you can see na zero exercise can actually lead you to weight loss. Pero if it's a healthy weight loss, then we don't know. But definitely, it is still a weight loss. Pero we are now focusing more, not just on the weight, but overall health. So I'm increasing my protein intake and then yung result ngayon ng aking body composition scale, merong mga apps yan, merong mga MeFit, depende sa inyong weighing scale na merong body composition. Maraming mura lang, mga nasa less than 2,000, okay na, mga digital weighing scale. You search na merong body composition scale or smart scale, tapos mape-pair up nyo yan sa phone ninyo para makita nyo yung inyong body composition. And now, yung muscle mass ko is high. Actually, I don't plan on eating a lot of proteins forever. Pero since we are still young and we are still physically active, it's a good time to increase muscle bulk. And then, so that in times na I need to fast because fasting is essential talaga, yung pag-aayuno, it will be a safe fasting because alam mong hindi ka mangangayayat because you have body fats na makaka-accommodate ng fasting at hindi ka rin mawawala ng muscles because extra amino acids can be accommodated. Pwede po pang mawala yon. So, yan. Yan yung ating lesson for today. If you want to do exercise, you make sure first na sanay na yung pangangatawan ninyo when it comes to your food intake. Kasi kung ipagsasabay nyo si low carb at saka si exercise, most likely mahihirapan kayo. Most likely, it will fail. So, try to do one thing at a time. Pero kung nag-exercise na kayo before pa kayo nag-low carb at sanay na yung pangangatawan ninyo, you can still continue pero dahan-dahan lang muna. Try to observe yourself because you might be doubling the stress na hinaharap ninyo. So, I hope you get to see for yourself. And for those who wants to gain weight, kung magi-gain weight tayo, let's gain weight by increasing our muscle mass. Gain weight in your muscles, not fats. And don't worry, hindi lang po ito para lang sa physical na kaanyuan, but it's actually on overall health. Kasi kung titingnan ko, yung weight ko ngayon is midway between this one and this one. Pero hindi masyadong nagkakalayo yung itsura ko sa second photo because right now, it's more on muscle weight. At yung pagkakaiba, alam mong you are increasing your muscle weight kasi kahit yung bigat, like yung bigat ko ngayon, before when I had low muscle mass, parati akong hinihingal. But now, even if I weigh this much but with increased muscle mass, hindi na ako hinihingal. Hindi yung hindi mabigat yung pakiramdam. And that's the beauty of knowing your own body composition. So, know your body composition. I hope we avoid to have high body fat and low muscle mass. Yan yung pinaka-detrimental sa lahat, yung pinaka-nakakatakot sa lahat. Low body fat, low muscle mass, okay lang naman, but make sure you're always safe, hindi ka na-expose sa mga virus, sa mga sakit, because your tendency to be immune or to fight stresses is less if you have less muscle mass because increased muscle mass is also associated with better stress endurance, better tolerance. But if you want to do more and feel better, you better increase your muscle mass as well through some exercises, weightlifting, especially sa mga elderlies, resistance training sa may mga edad na, pagbubuhat, and of course, improving your protein intake. So, try to know more about protein intake and calculations. I think meron tayong videos about that because sometimes yung iniisip nating high protein, sometimes it's not really high. To be fair, very, very high protein is really not good. Pero, by definition, ano ba yung high protein sa inyo? Because by proper calculation, actually, yung high protein na iniisip natin, it's still para siyang times 3 sa usual ng pagkain ng Pinoy or times 4. Ganon kaliit yung nasa kasanayan nating protein intake. And when you do fasting at the same time, doing OMAD, 1 meal a day, 2 meals a day, you cannot also overdo your proteins. So, mahirap siyang i-overeat. And I hope you get to appreciate kung paano yung ating pagkain can actually improve our overall health. It's part of the 80-20 rule. That's 80% of our physique is related to our food intake and our success then with our journey hindi lang din sa ating ginagawa, but it has also something to do with our mindset. So I invite you all to be a part of our groups for food inspirations, for low carb foods inspirations. We have Life Without Rice and we also have low carb feasting and fasting community. Kung gusto nyo ma-inspire sa stories ng iba pa. Maraming na dyan. Every day, you will be bombarded with so many testimonials na mga totoong tao na sila mismo naka-experience ng healing. Weight loss, yung usual na sinasabi, is just a bonus. It's just a part of the process na para siyang side effect. Pero it's also a good side effect kasi mas mahirap talagang magkaroon ng extra weight. It will be too much for your spine to carry. Magkakaroon kayo ng mga pananakit sa ankle, sa paa, because you are carrying extra weight, and many more. Because fats, when too much in our body, is also not good because they contain toxins, they secrete hormones na hindi maganda para sa atin. So, if you wish to know more and if you wish to be guided, we also have a masterclass for that. That's low carb and fasting masterclass, LCF masterclass by yours truly. Yung ating mga admins, marami po silang hinahandle. Please go to our Facebook page, official Facebook page na ganito yung pangalan para po ma-attend kayo with your registration. This number is just to help those na alanganin. Pero mind you that our official enrollment is through this page. So maraming salamat everybody. Yan no, meron akong pinagpapawisan na ako. Noon, hindi ako masyadong pinagpapawisan. Yun yung alam mo na alam kong mababa talaga yung metabolism ko during this time of my life in 2019. Ngayon, konting kwento lang pinagpapawisan na ako. So, that's it for today. Maraming salamat everyone. I wish you well. I wish you will do exercise for health gain and not just for weight loss. Marami tayong videos for beginners if you wish to start your low carb and fasting journey. Maraming salamat po. I wish to see you all in the coming days and in our next video. Remember to always stay low carb so that we all stay safe. Have a good day.